Good morning, guys. A great morning to all who tune into the Guyanese Critic morning to the Guyanese Critic morning. I'm trying to start the day with a serious face. Please do not deny me that right. I think I have the right to be a serious. Now, when you start your day, here. Let me start the day right after the battle action. And let's reminisce on this. What I want you to think is what is coming. What am I looking at? What you're looking at, in essence, let me let me make sure I'm not talking to myself and let me check. So let me tell you what I'm about to show you. And I want you to envision this. There was a period of chaos, and we were petrified. Some of us didn't know what the problems were. We claimed we were terrified. And then 2015 and the PNC came and we came alive. And we felt that the world would have changed. But then, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. No, no, no. This became the PNC in action. Didn't know where they were going, what they were doing. And the only explanation is they're gone out of their minds. I can't believe my eyes. Hey man, I think them I think them Calypsonians gotta come to me. Right? I think them Calypsonians gotta come to me and I show them and teach. I just sit down here and just come up with them things. Before 2015, all kind of thing. You hear the world coming to an end. And the saviors with the PNC, I too believed. One crack of shit. Yes, I said, well, by real life gonna change here and we get so much a thing and life is gonna be great. Right? Somebody said my singing talent is as bad as the PN. Well, Jesus Christ. That's bad. I will not be singing again. Um, so now, you sit down and think, I'm like, whoa, whoa. So what they've done effectively is the PPP has Anil Nandalal considered to be their unruly horse. You understand? So they decide for counter Anil Nandalal. Get something for deal with Anil Nandalal. And watch what they turn up with. A wild donkey. It don't get better than that. So just getting straight into things, we got some things we got to discuss this morning. I'm supposed to have Harbor John tuning in from Barbies, and he will be discussing um, somebody said, yeah, I get me in trouble. You hear what somebody said? Hey, bro. I laugh and laugh until my head and stomach is hurting. That is exactly what the PNC and APNU is. Thank you very much. You're doing bloody well good, mate. Please wish Roshan happy birthday. Big up Terry Gadraj and Roshan celebrating in Guyana. So my boy Roshan is in the country. I'm going to meet up them boys today. Large up yourself, Roshan. Happy birthday to you. I don't know how the nosy, but sometimes I might say happy birthday. I know this is my partner. I even knows his birthday. Well, not this I'm too interested because birthdays is got give everything. I have nothing to give. You understand? Except it's a good laugh with a donkey kicking up and turn over. And so Egyptian writer rescue operation on the way to free ship blocking Egyptian. What concern is that of mine? The learning driver examination process discriminates against those who cannot read and write. Jesus Christ. It makes me just gets more interesting every day. Leroy Smith, better known as the Big Smith, just gets more interesting every day. His article is of recent says the learner driver examination process discriminates against those who cannot read and write. I must say, the world discriminates the uneducated. The world. That is why it's important to take in your education. You understand? The least you could have to survive in the world is a secondary education. When you go to any place, they ask if you know how to read and write. And imagine you want to be a part of a piece of equipment. You want to be a part of a world. You want to be a part of a country. You want to have say in things that happen in a country that was built on an educational system. The phone that you use has a name, has it come through history. And the foundation that everything you see and you have was built on knowledge that you don't want to have to get a driver's license. You don't think you should have. You're discriminated against. Leroy, take a fudging break, buddy. Take a fudging break. Take a fudging break. You living in a world where you have to take a vaccine that has some details on it you got to read. Oh, fudge. Yes, my brother. Good morning.
Good morning, Ruben Harbison here. How are you doing?
Yeah, talk to me.
Yeah, but it's the same thing. I had been trying to address since 2006, and that we have to have respect the law of this land. It's not a law of a political party or a law of anything. We have here on the quarantine the only major highway that we have, and soon we will bridge the Suriname Guyana bridge, and then we still have these lawlessness.
Hold for me, Harbour John. Hold for me. Hold for me. So, viewers, what Harbour John is talking about, and Harbour John, I want you to go through a little bit of your background, and we got to do this constantly because people have to know who you are, where you come from. People want to know. Sometimes we talk, we think everybody knows us, and just by name. But what we're going to be discussing this morning mainly, and Harbour John is somebody who plays an integral role or plays a part in politics in Berbice. And now what we're talking about is this video here, whereas a combine is driving in the road. What these things, because they're not built for driving on roads, their tracks damage the roads. Yes, and it so happens that this haze has mainly the government affiliated persons. The government are trying to put things in place. But as I put up there, when will the government when and how will they address the lawlessness within their ranks? That really speaks directly to what you're looking at there in the video. So, Abijana, I want you to step back a little bit, go back to a little bit about yourself, and then we can get straight into this thing.
Well, critics, I always been a community activist, starting 2003, and in 2005 I jumped into politics. The only political party I ever been with was the AFC up until 2020 when I resigned. I was the former Prime Minister of Region 6, and I sit in at a few board of directors in different ministries, and unfortunately, today I am just becoming a voice of the people on my own level, and I don't represent non-political party at this time. All my focusing on is making recommendation for community development, and make recommendation to the current government, because I personally believe government is doing a lot for the people, but it's the people and the people who manage the agency, such as the video that you have here. So one of the things is that there is law and system in place that any machine, heavy duty machine with a track, such as bulldozer, combine, or any excavator of such, require a low bed with a traffic rank escorting that low bed to X destination or Y destination. However, some of these rice farmers believe that, well, look, I gonna bypass the system and try to drive from X point to Y point. But one of the things what they don't understand, the government, our taxpayer money, is plugging in hundreds of millions to patch these roads. Now, if you look at those roads, once you have a hole and rain fall into it, it will expand into a pothole. Now we're going to go through the cycle year after year and crop after crop, and we're going to continue doing the same thing. What goes for one should goes for all, and no rice farmers or any construction worker with such a trap should have grace period. If you're going to go grace period and the law is there, this is one of the things the commander and I had a problem with the other day, and I am trying to bring things to his attention, and he called me and he said that, well, Armajan, let's sit down and talk, etc. Well, I am on the other side of the region, so I explained to him that commanders and police officers is to execute the law. They are not there to make policy, be judge and jury. Yes, you can flex a little bit, but what you're looking at there, that's the tip of the iceberg. The penalty for that is $50,000 fine. That is in Constitution, that's in law, and a jail time. Now, how many people ever face that? Now they're going to say, well, Harbajan, you were there for 5 years. I pressed the coalition government as hard as I could to remove paddy on the train and the public road, agriculture, junk equipment. Most of these guys take the public road, show them, make it a perfect burial ground to dump the thing. I fight it with the coalition, and I fight it very hard with them. Patterson and I was at war with that. There's many people playing politics with this thing, but they're not looking at the safety for pedestrian and motorists. Now, if you're gonna be an oil-rich economy, you're gonna attract tourism. A man come in your country, rent a car. I don't know if you remember the incident at 59 Village where 5 people from Georgetown dead. One pothole, blood on. The guy didn't saw the thing, and then you remember the incident in 2017.
Yes, a girl, she boyfriend, she maid, and she 2 sons.
Right. Now, because I did not live far, it is a pothole, the left side of the wheel dropped in.
Sabita Shanim, she used to do visa application form in Mirage Building.
Right.
I cover those stories
That's
extensively.
And there is other things, but one of the things is government have system, government put in this end. You have I want the public to know, you have central government, you have a local government organ, right? What the local government organs, such as the municipality and the NDC, if they saw things like this is happening, they can engage the traffic chief or the commander or the regional chairman. But when everybody say, man, well, it's rice farmer. Rice farmer cannot hold the region hostages. It's only 9% of the people planting rice. Politician has to understand. We have more rice field planting, but there's a major rice farmer planting rice. There's no small rice farmer. So 9% of people can hold 91% people hostages in the region. Look at the party on the road. Now let me touch on that. I think you would have spoken that a little bit. I think 2012 or 2012, 2013, the PPP government spent over 300 million critics, make drying floor across Region 6 and do state-of-the-art seed padding facility, which is capable of doing all the seed padding. But it's a norm and tradition for the dump it on the road. There's no excuse. I see the minister saying you're make the drying floor. My personal thing, if the minister make 10 drying floor, we're not going to solve the problem unless you enforce the law. We planted about 60 some, what is
Tell me
55,000 acre
something.
rice in
Tell me
Morris.
something. You were there. You were advisor to the prime minister. Advisor, you say in the area?
I was his prime minister for the entire region.
The prime minister rep.
Yeah.
Roger, you played an integral role in the last admission. You could not have gotten it right. What is the problem?
I I I tried the government avenue during the 5 year, and it did not. I will boldly say that. However, I also hold a seat at the RDC Council for 5 years, and most of the time at the statutory meeting, I did brought this to the attention of the regional chairman, and I pressed it. The regional chairman was very helpful when we start writing these agencies. But you see, critics being a rep, you doesn't have the power to enforce nothing. The most you can press the minister and the relevant authority to get it right. But I must stand my grounds and say 60% I was able to control from 2015 to 2020. But as of August of 2020, the thing got back full swing. It get out of control. So I make an impact. And the thing is this, if you listen to the president and the vice president and some other ministry, they got it right. I will quote the president here. The president said Guyanese must start to learn to do the right thing, regardless of what. But if we are not going to do that, we are looking at how we see the law in our head. Because if you look at where they come by traveling, right, you have tractors with mud. When these mud dry critics, it become dry and it become a mist, right? This mud become hard on the public road. And this is what people don't understand, that as soon as you end up, let me say your team a guy drive from Georgetown to Berbice, and he dashed from an animal and hit a parked truck or a trailer or a combine. It's like hitting a brick wall. Next thing you're gonna know, the guy dead, and they're gonna say, oh, he either drunk or he was speeding. What is your chance living if you slam into one and jump in the road shoulder? Right? And this is, and there are fines for this. There was a global span the other night, and global span asked me to come in on a phone call, and I did. I put it to him, and then his thing is, he started off with with a very harsh statement that what I have done with this over the past 5 years, and I explained to him that that's why I was not seen eye to eye with a few ministers in the coalition, and I stand my grounds. If it's wrong, it's wrong. But he's the public infrastructure minister. The road shoulder belongs to them. The road, you cannot be trying paddy middle of the road and line of iron and tire and piece wood and them thing critics. There is drying floor, as I was mentioned. The region need about 55. They planting about 55,000 acres of rice. Now you only need about X amount of a one bag paddy per acre. Now the state-of-the-art seed paddy facility, both of them with the drying floor, is capable of doing this. Drying it. If you look at the calculation, you don't cut the paddy from the field and sell it to the millers. The millers buy the paddy direct from the field, because if you moisture it and sell it, you lose weight. So I saw the minister make a statement in Parliament, and I messaged him and I called him and said that that's not true. People sell the paddy direct from the mill. You don't have to moisture it. It's only seed paddy. But why spread them on the public road when you have all these drying floors?
Tell me something, Arbajan. Help me out here. And it goes back a little because I'm looking at the comments, I'm looking at what people are saying. People are looking at you directly. I want to know where you are now. You had to resign. You not had to. You resigned from the AFC, right? Um,
Yeah.
can you speak to what you see, or how you see the AFC now, or the opposition now? How do you see the opposition now after being a
I
part of the opposition seeing their failures and being a part of the failure, you gotta say, how you see the opposition now? Let me get into some real
I
politics.
Yeah, so we shifted a little bit from the road. All right, I sure you would. I know people would ask you a question there. Let me touch on that there. I don't see. Yes, there was. We are on the sideline. I mean, well, the opposition now is on the sideline because if you read my statement, that they lost touch with the grassroots people, and since 2017, I brought that to them attention, and no one seems to be. Everybody was so high and rosy with the ladder. They gone up. You got to climb to reach them. One of the failure was that when you lost touch with the people. Now, me as being with the opposition then before I resigned, I did my best. I may not be the best, but I tried my best. I don't see that as a failure for me, maybe them, but like I mentioned earlier, I send pressure on them. If you go back and see, I was sending pressure on them just for us to do the right thing. And that didn't happen. How I see now in reference about the opposition and where we are, I don't see there's an opposition in this country. Listen to some of the things that I see in Parliament. That's not how opposition to represent. As I mentioned, I was an RDC councillor for 5 years. So at the region, we got 20 PVP councillor, and there was about 10 of us. I realized that then the opposition PVP didn't have majority. But what do I do, critics? If the PVP put something on the table and it benefit the people, I support it. Vice versa when I put it. I don't see proper statements from opposition. All you're seeing is an attacking statement. As I said, the government is doing, for me, they're doing fairly well at this time, but the people behind the agencies is what I'm not satisfied with, because it's a political end at the lower level. Right?
But John, before we go back to the road, I don't want to take you too far from your road because it's the people's issues we want to deal with. But we got to talk about things because people got, while we talking and we're saying things, people got concerns and things bothering them, things on their mind. Before we go back on the road, have you in any way, shape, and form um, from March the 2nd of this year, do you have any evidence to suggest, or how do you see the election? How do you see the attempts to rig the election? Did you see that, or you share the sentiments of opposition members who ain't see nothing wrong and is gonna be crying that this is a crying foul? How was your take on that? We never really get to discuss that.
It's good you brought that up, because many people act. I was on the Kite Shore with Yog Mahadi and Gildari right after the election, and a program and with OC Rogers and at that the question raised up, and I will say it clear. When I saw that the Region 6 East Berbice, the PVP got 43,000 votes and the APNU AFC got 20,000 votes. Critics, I've been around 4 election, right? And when I see that numbers, right, that was the highest ever for PPP, and that was more than half. Now, I tell a few members then amongst who I was, like I said, I didn't have a good relationship because I was pressing a lot of issue. And I tell them it's over with. The election is over with. Region 6 lead is too big. Going into any other region, you go in with a 23,000 lead there. You can never. The election is over. As far as the rigging part, the constitution and the GCOM and our system put it in a way that give the now opposition avenues, the little crack they were looking for to run the system. They were running a legal system which allowed them to carry it where they were running. Right, and they take the opportunity by looking at those little legal cracks where they can run here, file this, file that, because
little legal cracks don't happen, John. Don't get mixed up. Don't get mixed up with legal cracks and deliberate attempts to rig an election.
It was in the court, so it got to be some way of legal for them to take it there.
No, I understand that, but what Mingo did, and Mingo, then you hear your Region 5. Mingo is a Region 5 man. Come to talk. What Mingo did, there were no legal loopholes there. deliberate attempt to make and falsify a declaration. You understand?
Right.
So them kind of things I want to know. Have you seen it or do you share this? Because the opposition continue, opposition which you were a part of, continue to keep making claims that people try to rig election and this and that. Did you see clear cut? Did you understand what was going on, or you yourself are still a little confused as to what transpired after March 2nd?
I was not confused. I did not support what was happening there based on how, I mean, this day and age, right? You have SOP sheets, right? And that would be at all the polling station. Our man is very simple. Just put the goddamn thing in this, and you got three. You got the opposition got one, the PPP got one, and then you have GCOM has one. What's so hard to do it? All this dilly-dally crap, I was very surprised that the thing was spinning off. But like I said, I did not support it, and was not in any position. You guys see the U.S. The diplomats from other country, the ambassadors, was highlighting things, and then people must understand social media not being here second to March. Social media being here a decade ago. So you cannot do things which you believe you can run with it and get away with it without it not being in the public. Now look, I believe right now, that's why you asked the question if there is an opposition. Those things will come back to bite whatever transpired here, Mr. Critics.
I hear you, Harbour John. So I think that is fair. You put your 2 cents to that because we're asking the questions, and my thing is getting the answers for the people's questions to make sure we're not left confused and left in the wilderness. So back to this road thing and what is going on at the road. Um, what do you want to see done right now?
I just want, there is a system, there's government agencies, there's people holding position to do what they are paid to do. The police must allow to do their job without political men bluffing them way at this station, trying to get away because you know what? We are some top end political man and control the police. The police is not to be, sometimes policemen is being transferred for this, do the job. I am communicating as an activist. I mean, I am not representing no political party, but I represent what is right, and that's why I said the government have system, the police has an obligation to do. But when you have, when your hands down approach on little thing like this, you know what these men will do who are trying to bluff their way at the police station looking for grace period, Mr. Critics. These little boy who will get away with it eventually. If big men are getting away by trample upon our laws, what do you think the little man at the bottom will do?
Harbour John,
How are you
since
going
we're
to carry on?
here, since we're here, a nice question, because politicians over the years, you ain't not one of them in get jail and to know for thing. I have been recently charged for having shortness of not being able to produce documents from my vehicle at one time. And from time to time I face the law for my shortcomings and transgressions. But can you relate to one time, and somebody just sent in this question, could you relate to one time where you publicly condemn the rigging? Because one of the things is, like for instance, this video we're watching it with this combined thing. The president got come and say, listen to me, you people are my people, but you can't continue to act like hooligans and thugs, and we gotta get this country on track, right? And that is what we're asking of the now administration. They get serious with their own people in their own ranks. Can you refer to one time where you publicly condemned the rigging of the last administration?
I think I touch on that. If you're saying that if I come out and condemn it, no. I did say that, and I make it on my Facebook post. I said this is going the distance. From an outside point of view, as a official then in April, I said the way I see this whole thing twisting, this case, this whole election is going the distance because of the loopholes, like I said, the law has.
So at the time you were
Now,
walking the tightrope,
was that?
at the time you were walking the tightrope, you're still playing the part. You working a discipline. You were very eloquent about what you were saying at the time. There's no time you could relate to where you come and say, man, listen to me. This is rigging because everybody see what happened. I talking about rigging. Me talking about going the distance and the laws and all that thing. The PNC been from bullshit and the opposition when they were in government, the PNC and AFC been from bullshit since December the 21st, 2018. No, they ain't got no nice way for put this bullshit. You understand? To lose every case that you put up, um, misinterpreting, not interpreting, misinterpreting the Constitution. Yes, and the Prime Minister explaining to people, went at lengths to explain to people bullshit. You know, I want to know at what time, which, well, the reason I asked is because I know I don't think there was a time. And you said clearly there just now that you put on your post that this is going the length. But saying this is going the length while you sat there and watched at the real rigging attempts, you understand, ain't putting in thing. And why I'm asking that, it might be an oversight. I'm willing to give you that opportunity. Let's leave a loophole for you
Critics,
that is oversight.
let me be bold here, and I do it on my page too. I was very bold internally. Internally, I told them that, right?
Okay.
When I highlighted internally, because of that, what I put there internally, right? I was sidelined because of the word I have. I keep saying that if you cannot do this, because if you do this, this is the path is going. Because of that, go back and look at your national top up list for parliament here on a regional list to be back RDC councillor. I was bulldozed. As much as I was an icon in the region, I was bulldozed because I draw a straight line with them. And when I went to the AFC conference, where they were having this, they was picking up leaders and having this election. I tried to contest here to be on the executive of the AFC. They campaigned against me because remember the no confidence motion had already been passed. So I did brought it to them attention internally to some of the key players. And because of that, but they know that I already has built a foundation for me in terms of being honest with people in terms when it comes to community development and give ideas. And because my job basically in the region was that, and I will say it here, when my office opened as a prime minister rep in the region, 98.8% of the people come to my office was PPP supporters. So I has an obligation to do what I was paid to do, because I don't want to be someone who collecting a salary and not do my job. But in between there, I keep shoving to them. And you know what, critics? If you look at the 2018 local government election in Region 6, you have 17 or 18 NDC. AFC run independently, and because they were when I brought certain things to them, they end up with one goddamn NDC seat in the entire region. Out of 100 and something councillor, one. That right away tell them they was in the dashboard was flashing red, and them realized that they were dead.
You played
they have a seat in Amsterdam.
You played an integral role. You played a part, and you worked. You were a groundsman. Obviously, that being the prime minister's rep showed that you did work on the ground in 2015 for the AFC. With what is going on now and how the new administration is forging forward, where do you see the AFC in 2015? Not 2015, 2025, sorry. Yeah.
Dead.
Dead,
I
Roger.
don't see they have any gas in the tank there. If they do, they will. I think they will piggyback. They will piggyback on the APNU, which is APNU have a little structure. They have a structure which I respect. I mean I must be fair here. They have one that the AFC, if they do still stick around, they gonna piggyback on them.
They're becoming a parasite to the PNC now. All right, I hear you. This is them. This is them action. I got a video that shows the opposition win. Now their action. It explains every single action. Anything relates to the opposition. This video with a fledgling wild donkey explains everything when it comes to the AFC and the opposition now. So yeah, but John, so in closing, what do you think? What do you think is Oh shucks, I got somebody. Hold for me. Yeah, brother.
Happen.
No, they call them. I don't my life. I'll call you back later. They call you for see what's going on with you. We can get off later.
Oh, all right, good.
Yeah, sorry about that, brother. Yeah, when you see what we need to do, we know that now it is very important since there's not much of an opposition. How do we hold this government accountable? This road thing, you hearing me, Abajan?
Yeah, yeah.
This road thing we you talking about. This people is government affiliated people, and every time you touch again, that I vote for you, so, but you ain't vote, you ain't me vote, me come for take over you think for facilitate the lawlessness. You understand? So at some point in time, the government got to tell the people, yeah, I got done with this lawlessness. So how do you see we moving forward?
I I would have had a discussion with the I know Global Span with Charles and Dr. Rosewood. I engaged a lot of ministers. So the Vice President, Dr. Jagdeo, was one of the program, and that question was put to him. The exact question what you said, and the man was in right away he put down his coffee, and he said that people is unreasonable, and this nonsense has to stop. In his own word, I can send you that video.
Roger
And
that.
yet the president say that. And then if you go back to the junior minister of public infrastructure, in his own word, he said every time they try to address this issue, it become political. So he admitted. So either we play by the 9% people who want to discomfort the majority, and let me tell you, like you mentioned 2025, you have to understand. Yes, the poor people would have been vote for the same government too. So why should the 91% be deprived? If you put a system and law in place in a country and you don't abide by it, and then you are trying to give grace period or flexibility, then you know what you're encouraging critics. How can you dare tell a poor man picnic that you're not stealing this or stealing that solar because we have some petty thief is wrong? When a big man is going to drive his combine on the road and a buy with a motorbike selling Congo fish and Hassa, police stop him because his light was not perfect and the combine drive past and they didn't stop him. How you explain that?
I hear you, brother. We talk. I want to move on to some other issues are covering, but let's do this more often. And we gotta forget some other reps out there, some other people that have the best interests of Region 6 and Region 5 to heart. And let's get hold this government accountable and make sure we keep them in check. Because with the rate that they're going at, they seem to be giving the people all the needs and meeting the people's satisfaction. But I can tell you, it is not far or very hard for an administration that is being hugged and pet by a people, or the people to grow to love them to become complacent. And I think the PPP, more than any other administration, has that experience. PPP lost the last election in 2015 as a result of their complacency, right? So how do we hold them
But they lost the
accountable?
majority in 2011. They lost the majority there.
Yes.
In closing, critics, I just want to say I hope I answered some of the political question you put. That my position prior to the declaration that the
Well, what
PPP
I'll
now
do,
want
Harbor John,
requirements that.
remember you didn't come specifically for that, but as I think, you see, my operation is interactive. So I'm looking at comments, I'm getting WhatsApp
Right.
messages, So I'm looking at those different things, and these are the answers that people want. And one of the things, I could impart with you as a politician, um, you as a politician, me as the man on the ground, and know what's going on in the people's minds, and in their hearts. You got to give a little to get a little, so it has to be a back and forth, because for people to listen to you, to move, do, you get your message across them, they're also asking themselves, they're constantly testing your credibility. You understand? So it is important that, we were talking about the roads, and you've moved on from a past time of being with the opposition and so on, and you're still doing and hoping to do for your community. But that uh, that situation is going to always linger there because of your past affiliations and so on. And from time to time, you got to remind the people. You understand? Because they're good people. Gaskin came out, although I think he was a disaster for a minister, right? Um, former president David Arthur Granger's son-in-law came out and he said, I can't be a part. He spoke out. This is very, very close to home for the Granger administration. And he spoke out. And there are many others who spoke out. There are many others that became so reserved, right? Um, they became so reserved that you knew that they don't want to be a part of this, the shenanigans and the charades that were being
Good point. Good point,
put out
Curtis.
there.
When I come out boldly and Kaichur and Stabrook and Guyana Times and Chronicle run it front page that AFC rocked by Harbison resignation. Now, the same people will resign afterward, launch an attack on me. If you go back to the Reynard Ward and the one Vladimir and everybody who you see resign, after that, they come after me in August. And look what happened to the I'll jump ship. And a jump ship, they resign. In closing, too, I just want to say this. I am not here to attack government. I am not this for my committee. When I speak on broad-based, but I make on my comment, I make a broad-based recommendation, and I hoping that some of the people who in charge of certain agency read and look at it. They don't have to agree with it, but as you said, what I put forward is some solution idea, like the all-weather road, for instance. I fight down the Ministry of Agriculture to shift the venue. Unfortunately, it was successful because in 2016 I put forward that, and I'm glad it doesn't matter which government do it once the people benefit. So people must understand. I may come from the AFC in the past day, but those days when I was with the AFC, it was then. Unfortunately, we tie a coalition in 2015, and that's how I binding up in there. Then I resigned from it, but I am from the AFC fraction, and I'm no longer with the AFC. I am just with Harbison alone right now, and
And I
I
think, Mr.
engage
Harbour John,
operation.
you should stay with Harbour John and find a way to work, find a middle ground that you could work in the best interest of the people on your own. Because I'm telling you, jumping ship, Guyanese looking at them things that now, yeah, I said. So
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
could work from the unique vantage point. As you gotta decide to work with somebody because you've accepted the AFC that you were a part of is dead. So you gotta work with something. So thanks for coming on the program, and I'm gonna do something unique that we're gonna do Region 6 and we're gonna sit down and really talk about it and get a better in-depth understanding, of the issues there, how the people are affected and the solutions. Because although I'm on the ground all around the country, you are on the ground to that specific area lots of times, and you have people numbers and people are reaching out to you and all these kind of things. So you in tune could filter that to me. I put it out there to the world, being the biggest platform in Guyana. So let me keep doing this, and don't feel no way, because when people come to me, that's what they come here for. People just only come on here when they feel they got the ability to stand up to rigorous scrutiny and a whole different level of transparency. So thank you for your input, and let's do this more often.
I thank you for having me on, and I will stand my grounds. If it's wrong, it's wrong. And I will live by that principle. Whenever you in Barbados, feel free to drop by. My office is open. You can always come to my personal office, and we can have a discussion, brother.
Raja Harbajan, nice talking to you. Take care. Yeah. So you gotta listen to people. We ain't gotta be fighting all the time. You gotta listen to people. Now I got a couple of missed calls, and let me find out what exactly um is going on here.
Hi, Vernon.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Critic. Actually at the police station right now. Is it okay for me to give you a call back?
No problem. I get missed call from you just now. That's why I call.
All right.
So as soon as you're
I'll give you
done,
a call back.
yeah. So I have a young lady. Um, this is what this watch it is. Which why you guys continue to do these things to women that you would not wish for yourself, your mother, your sister? Why? Why a woman who has opened up her heart to you? At least there was a time. If she is now the bad one, when it began, there obviously was a time. Let women be. Women is nobody's property. We're gonna talk to this young woman. Just look at this young woman. She is nobody's property. Why do Guyanese women continue to have to endure this kind of assault on them? Now, this is not even halfway. Hello, good morning, my brother.
Hey, good morning, Chris. How are you? I have two comments to make. I live in New York, and I was visiting Guyana, so I had to take a COVID test to come back to New York. And what happened? I went to the Woodlands location to take the test. The conditions that we were under that particular Friday was a lot of rain, and we were standing outside in the rain under a tarp that um, the tarp was better you were not under anything per se, because the rain was falling and the people even wanted to go inside you, so we were soaking wet. I'm not the only one that was taking the COVID test at that time. It was also a lot of Guyanese who came back to the country, probably some of them for the first time. And for me, it was after 30 years, and it was not a good experience. Um, so it was something that I know. I follow you. I listen to you a lot. If you can look into and see, how they can better that situation, they're not making people stand up, especially the ones who got to take the COVID test to travel to the United States or Canada or England, I guess. I'm not sure about England, but it was a long line and the rain was falling, and basically we were head from wet from
This
head to
is
toe.
Woodlands Hospital.
Yeah, Woodlands Hospital. If you pass by there, probably you're gonna see it's a white tarp made out of wood, very very poorly made structure, and it's not something that, I mean, a good impression for Chinese who returning, or even people from outside. You know.
All right. I know the hearing. Everybody listens to me. Every PR department of every organization in this country listens to me. So they get the message as you relate. They listen to hear when people are going to call, what they're going to say, and all these kind of things. So that is the reason for this platform. So you have been heard. And I'm
Yeah,
hoping is not hearing you, is the addressing the issue.
yeah, it's because not only you were being wet from above, you were being flooded out. My shoes was completely soaked. Because the water level was so high, and there was nowhere to go, nowhere to stand, except to stand in that condition.
Roger, brother, I hear you.
All right, and one other thing, I was staying in the crane area, and I saw the people when you were filming the back when the guys were catching the fish, but I didn't know you was there. If you were there, I'd probably come out and and reach you, but unfortunately, I didn't know you were there.
Well, like always, I just be moving, you understand?
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
my life has become servitude to the Guyanese people. So I just moving. We can catch up someday though, don't worry.
Yeah, yeah. Whenever I come back there, I give you a shout,
Roger, brother.
and we can
Once the
reach out. All
time
right, man.
permits,
And I follow you a lot. I listen to you a lot, and I learned a lot from you about Guyana.
Roger, brother. I'm
All right, keep up the
thankful
good work, man.
that I can be of a positive input to Guyanese. Welcome, brother.
All right.
I'll try my best. I could be an asshole at times too. But I'm the Guyanese asshole. They love me. Just keeping it real.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Guyanese Critic returning a missed call.
Hi, yeah. I calling to find out we get blackout on Victoria here, and the children doing online work. What's going on with
Victoria.
yeah, Belfield area?
All right, I will work on that immediately, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Nirmala, please, thing in the group there. They got blackout in Victoria area. If it is on uh, shit. If the nobody blackout, if GPL nobody blackout, please, if it's some accident or some thing trip, because see the weather change out there. Please find out what's going on. Um, and deal with it. The chair and the ladies. God, we got so much of things to do in this country. So I just me had this thought me sometimes. I don't know what should this girl, what should this? How do you and then you gonna go on to tell this woman this woman you love she and that kind of thing. What the fudge? Just left the woman at a galang the way, buddy. Yeah, understand. So when she calls, we'll talk about that. Um, paper shards. The guy who was shot outside of Palm Court. Let me tell you what Victoria has blackout any word in this massive. Thank you, Nirmala. So a lot of times GPL is unaware of the blackout in the area, right? They got switches, they got a transformer could blow, they got like all the rain fall in the weather and thing, up area could trip. So GPL doesn't have sensors everywhere, know with everything happening. So when you get a blackout, don't wait to see the lights gonna come on back. Call GPL right away and make them aware that you have blackout. That's very important. If you have a blackout, you call GPL and find out what is going on. You're not supposed to have blackout. You understand? It's not a normal thing. Do not accept that it's a normal thing. A car might hit the pole. Two wires might run slack and thing. A bird might hit a transformer and blow up the transformer. There's a number of things can happen. You understand? So don't just sit idly by and say, oh, well, it's blackout. When like it's not a normal thing. Blackout is not a normal thing and should not be normalized. Right? Power outages, GPL is putting, if they're going to do scheduled maintenance, they will have scheduled maintenance and all these kind of things in the area. Right? That is a must. So as soon as you get blackout and you in see that on Guyanese Critic page it said, no, talking about that. This is Victoria. So Georgetown, public maintenance, right? Normally you asking question. East Bank Demerara is Tamari North, the CCJ airport, 9 to 15. That is what this 28th. Right? Then we got mainly 24th, we got thing. Let me see what they got. East Bank. So there's nothing for East Coast. There's no scheduled maintenance advisory. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, dear valued customer, in the environs of Lyric Souvenir, all right, no, come back up. GPL is coming to you. Right. So they ain't got nothing for the Belfield area. So they're supposed to be a black. There's no scheduled maintenance. And if you don't see it in the Guyanese Critic page, you're not informed of this happening, something is wrong. You call right as soon as the black would come on, you call GPL right away. On all the numbers. They must be firing on all cylinders. You understand? You don't got to think, oh God, me never call every minute. You call, never call, everybody call. Torment them. You understand? Don't play with people. This is with children education. This is with livelihood. So this by paper shards here. Um, I made contact with. Okay, so they're looking into it. The GPL is looking into it immediately. This is how we do it. This is how we roll. We don't play. We come in and we do no right away. That is why this operation is the leading operation in this country. They ain't got a private entity and nobody. got an operation as effective as the Guyanese Critic operation. Yeah, believe. Hello, good morning.
Hey, good morning. I just got into just so advertise this thing on your platform and about this light at the east bank of Borbies. When you were in Borbies, I give you a call to tell you about it. The street lights, most of them are gone, and this is an area, my friend. It's very high traffic with animals. So I don't know if GPL, anybody from the GPL is watching here, if they can do something about it.
Well, GPL doesn't do anything about that, about the lights in the road. The Ministry of Public Works deals with the infrastructure of roads and lights and so on. GPL powers those processes.
Well, I
but
hope somebody is
tell me
watching.
what area we're talking about.
The east bank of Borbies, Glasgow.
Glasgow.
Yes, yes. Remember I called you when you were in Borbies? A couple times I messaged you on WhatsApp and stuff. The area is a lot of high traffic with animals, man. You're getting a lot of accidents and stuff. Right opposite me for the past week, you had about like 3 dogs got knocked down. 2 survived and 1 died.
Glasgow, the community of Glasgow. Is there lights on the road that need servicing, or there's no lighting there?
No, there is light. It's right through on the whole of East Bank here is light. But a lot is gone to repair, servicing, or whatever. There is street light.
I will get on to somebody from the Ministry of Public Works and try to see if we can have them serviced and how soon we can have that done and get lights for the people of the community of Glasgow.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Hi, morning, brother. The community of Glasgow doesn't have lights on the road, and it's not as a result of they not having the hardware, but maybe needs servicing. Maybe GPL needs to get the some wire hook up or whatever. So Glasgow, just call him a program and tell me, but I don't know how we could assist there when. What is it for? So this guy here, aka Paper Shorts, Ricardo Fagundes, he the autopsy report showed he had 25 bullet wounds to his body, right? So let me tell you specifically. And his family must, was very traumatized when they're looking at all these things happening. 14 to both legs, 14 bullet wounds to the legs. And if you watch the video footage, you realize they really, really, shot him up. This is not no easy operation. We could review the video footage again. Let me pull it in right away, wherever it is, and we'll have a look at that. But I'm good. Good killing. Alright, so let me pull in this video for you. Have a look at this video and you will have an idea of what we are talking about. Right, so have a look at this video and it shows exactly what transpired. Right, then you have these guys go back, shoot up this individual again, So now his body bore 25 bullet wounds, 14 in the legs, let me get it, 14 legs, 1 to the ear, and the bullet seemed to have gone through his ear and come out somewhere at the top of his skull, 5 to the shoulder and arm, and a number of other bullets to the abdomen, adding up to some 25 bullet wounds. Right? So Very, very, very sad situation, right? 25 bullet wounds. You see the amount of shots there, all them little thing we you see in there, put the ground there, right? Is street light is handled by public works. So a team is going to be in Glasgow looking at a team going to Glasgow looking at the pub that thing there. Where you get your light, call me and tell me you get your light. You understand? So I ain't got that from a list of things to do. Say critic we get light. Because I want to cheering getting knocked down and the dogs, them ways they getting knocked down, two of them get knocked down, three of them get knocked down, two of them survive. You know, people got a pet. People just think like this is joke. People just calculate this joke. But as human beings, we have grown to love our pets. We want to see them dead. You understand? Listen to me. One time I knocked down a dog, driving going down to number one canal at the back. I'm driving the truck, and I drove over this dog, and how this dog get hit and the wheel jump. I know he dead. You know the boys were upset. I think Paul and Sean was in the front seat, and Paul was like, "Daddy thing." I said, "No, he jumped when he got man," because I didn't want to upset them. But it's not nice. They're paying to watch out. Don't watch out for children and other human beings. Watch it for the animals. Because you could get your dead body. You ever see some car when they don't run a horse or a cow? Be vigilant. Be vigilant. You know what I'm saying? So you're not cows and a horse is a man living. You ever see a man with a horse car? There's a horse making the man living. That's how he's feeding journey family. We gotta be more caring. And this is outside of how we look at each other and then the race and the religion and everything. This is the human side. You know what I'm saying? You can't want to live in a world and be treated fairly if you don't act in a certain manner. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be fair. When me drive me a watch, even if it's a scratty, I mean somebody dog. He's bark, sometimes his scratty dog is an old lady, he got a two scratty dog. And he just bark night time and it makes her feel secure. Y'all have to put some thought behind just the regular responses that you people just have. Like responding to things. Put some thought. What happens? And don't go far. Don't go outside of your feelings. You ask yourself, in that situation that you're in, and you're addressing someone, how would you like to be treated? You understand? How would you like to be treated? How do you want to feel? Right? So let's look at that. Let's start working on that. I think that's gonna take us a far way. So watch this girl come there. Oh my god. Well, when she maybe we can get left she think for tonight program. Let me go and read the comments. Look at some of the words. Are there other street cameras that can track the car from where the police are working on it? The police are working on that. I can tell you that. What's going on here? The video cannot be opened. Open the link. Here's what somebody sent something to me. What is it about? Chinese seafood company. When Chinese done with the aisle. Okay, okay. And Guyanese very selectively when it comes to the business, of which they have no control and do not understand what to do. If they get all excited and racial, right? But they're eating Chinese food. Some of them children start looking like Chinese because they grew up on Chinese food. They go into New Tribe and they eat the people have lazy asses eat the people food. And then how you believe these people get to this prawns and I don't never feed you? You gotta catch it. Somebody's gotta catch it. Hmm. So If possible, please wish Roshan a happy birthday. Hold on. Mommy, me don't know. Let me call this man and make sure it's his birthday. And the man come for help people when his birthday. I want to talk about something. I got a partner named Mark.
Hey, brother.
Hey, bro, today's your birthday?
Man, so everybody say, you know what?
Happy birthday, man. Happy
2032.
birthday.
Thank you, my brother.
We linking up later. Safe.
All right, good. We can link up later.
And the man come to Guyana. Roshan come to Guyana for bring for thing to help people. I got a friend. The guy who has Bushy Park. The Bushy Park, the beach resort. You ever went to Bushy Park at Puerto Rico? I want to show you this thing. There's a guy, there's a banner that I've grown very fond of over the year. We meet up, you know, he's a fellow, right? But when you meet a progressive man, if you want to know what progress looks like, you meet Mark. Talk to Mark. You understand? You go to Puerto Rico. If you're ever there at Puerto Rico, there's Bushy Park. Where the market is, you turn into the market. You're going up Puerto Rico, heading in the western direction. And when you reach the market, you turn in there, go straight to the seawall side, and then turn back straight to the end of the road. This guy named Mark got a Bushy Park a thing there. And I've, you know, over the year we sit down. Every time we go, we sit down, we drink and you know, take a 2 beers, and we talk about things. Also, somebody's informing me information just in for you people. Good morning, Mr. Critic. I just want to inform you that the COVID-19 vaccine is available at the Ogle Masjid from 9 to 4 today. So, and that is within the age requirement, right? I don't know what the age requirement is, but it's not for everybody. Soon, everybody over the age of 40 will be getting it, but I don't think it is there yet, right? So today you could go and get your vaccine if you're of the age at the Ogle Masjid from 9 to 4. Hi, good morning.
Morning, my brother.
Talk to me.
Two things. I couldn't call you right away, and I didn't want to stop your live anyway. With Harry Bajan, right? He shouldn't say that they use a loophole. He should say they abuse the court system, because using a loophole, if you really have something,
He's still being cautious. The same thing we're getting problem the last. He's still being cautious about what he's saying.
And the next thing with that combine, my suggestion, right? Government can get a couple of low bed what they think is going to satisfy the needs of the people, right? And charge them a reasonable fee. Or they could have a meeting with all the farmers and let the farm like an association to maintain this thing.
Brother, hold up there. I've seen too many things that government are a part of that have failed that way. I just tell you me perspective in supporting nothing like that. Yeah. Now, I am not supporting people who are part of $1 billion industry. You understand? Let them figure it out. They can't step on the road and the police locking them up. They will figure it out. That's not my business. You understand?
Yeah, the police should do that for real.
Let the police lock them up. They gotta be out there. You can't damage the road. Simple as that. You understand?
Let me tell you, in them refinery in Texas, if the man go cross a Traco, right? Just across, like a little street, they put plywood to cross it, and that's in the refinery, right? And they driving on a combine on a whole long road. That makes no sense. And another thing, one time when I see a couple of weeks ago, you ride up to Boris when the rain come down, right? I know what you're doing. Let me tell you, I had my phone banking how you banking them turn, right, in my hand. And I'm motorbike man, I car man, speed, right? But this, I find my phone banking like you, right? And when the rain come down, I say, I trust you. I know you're the right man from the little bit I see and hear about you, right? But when you see them, the vehicle, the tractor, or whatever, come out on the road, brother, just a little bit of just a handful of mud on the road with a whip, and you catch it with your bike, you could be in serious problems. So when you go in them area and it rain, take a little more caution, because I guess it's not me alone, but the whole set of followers.
Yeah.
They have their
Well,
heart in their
let me
heart,
tell you, here what happens, and I, you know, I live my life a certain way. I'm a very adventurous person. Behind the scenes, there's a lot I don't show people what I do because I have a large following of children and women and all these things, and they just get all worked up. You're living in a culture, blah, blah. Oh God, when you buy your bike, you buy a car, you need to buy a car. But basically, you understand, a man like me, you gotta put lives dangerously. You understand? I'm wild.
Yeah,
but
I hear you said plain that when you're riding a bike, I can't remember the exact word, but you mean to say something dangerous, and you just go at it hard.
Yeah. Bike,
right?
like people say, oh, for right, say, no. Here I tell you, you are on a road, you alone and God, on a motorcycle at 140 miles per hour the Linden Highway, and something decides to shred your tire, believe it or leave it, you in intensive care. Highly likely. You understand? They ain't got no two qualms about that.
I love car and I speed with car, but back home when we used to ride bicycle, my brother had a full race professional bicycle. Dropped my sister to school at Stella Maris and come down in front of the National Park. And this old black guy riding the bike and I pass it peacefully, right? And I decide to get up and cane the bike, rocket up. And them tires was space amp on the rim, right? Skinny thing. I see the tire start peel out. By the time I could have landed for the seat to stop the bike, it peel out, get between the fast and turn over me. Old man come up, he said, "By look how you could have did, you passed me so easy. When you see what happened, what you do in front."
Yeah.
Bicycle and go home.
No, I don't hear. First thing, meanwhile, like I was driving the other day, and somebody was in the car, in the pickup, and they say, man, Critic, how you just reach these locations? I want to ride in my bike. That is be powering. But when I'm driving my vehicle, because of the fact that the bike is more unsafe for me personally than the regular pedestrian, but the vehicle, if you jam somebody, you jam somebody walking, and so it's not, they done. Me don't want a thing for that. Yep. So I keep within the speed limit. And I always reach on time, brother. When it comes, I can't keep with the speed with the bike. The bike can make for right, so. Yes, it's better buy a push bike. That's the honest truth. That bike that make for right. So I tell you that I do a little thing by UG Road there. Watch the road and I go cross. And the police they cross by movie town. But by the time I take off from the track, like stop, watch the road, do a little bore. Right? Around, accept around. By the time I take the policeman come out now, thinking he could stop. Well, all I think is this man dead. Hey now, why this man coming in front of me? This is he want to stop me. But he realized this is power coming here, man. You understand? And I just trying for gear down and holding the brakes just to make sure I ain't flip over by front or start skating by back. You gotta know what you're doing. You understand? I used to work for a man in PAMPEY at Lusignan, opposite Lusignan Center Ground. Let me tell you how long I ride it. I ride it since I am 17. They gave me the bike for wash. I thief the bike and go and ride it. It was a F2 CBR them time though, right? So I riding since the age of, I thought I'm a big bike. I had my first Rebel in about 19. I had first a 250 Rebel. I buy from a Rasta man, a good man. I always remember from Atlantic Garden. So I'm riding since about 17 and 3 is 20. I ride it 24 years now. And that, me tell you, hey, listen, I ride at time, I used to ride an NSR, a 250 NSR. It's a two-stroke bike, fast like rats. I ride till the bike fly off the road, just raise up and get airborne. Yes, sir?
Well, let me tell you something. I moved in one. I had a friend from Canada bring a set of bike, right? And he could ever sell it. And I moved in the 1100. And I got on a little bottom shoes with painted concrete, a little bit of water, and my foot slipped. And that thing lean it up, people put like a 2 block height and full doors and plan. That thing leaned me foot on that side wall there. And all I seen is a hospital bed with broken foot by. But one more thing. This thing with the shooting at Palm Court. When something like that happen, things happen when I think when they shoot up Brick Dam or something and men get away up the East Bank. It's not necessary they're gonna go East Bank all the time. But what they should do is all the stations should come out with roadblock, all the main exit out of the city and all them stations in the city. You never know where they're gonna drive or where you're gonna catch them. So things like that, the police need to put out a station thing, call and block.
Well, they have, listen to me, they have, well, the resources, and from time to time they do things that I do not know how, or if police were deployed across the country in that case. But do not forget that a lot of times these that's a high profile crime, brother. Things like that are well organized and orchestrated. You understand?
Yep.
So
When
you asking why they're acting lackadaisical, is because the people in all about the police people in.
Yeah.
Right? So
tell me something. You just check emails often? No,
it's not email, man.
Alright, because I sent one to you, but it got some suggestion about different things. But another day.
Roger, brother. So I want to talk about this thing. I want to talk about this thing. Now, my friend Mark from Bushy Park, very progressive man, right? And he's building that thing there. It's a boathouse or something like that for the people there. It will serve the community, will serve the people. This man got the Bushy Park beach. He got a boat hustling from Purrica to Bartica. And you could look at this man. Man said, you imagine you sit down just so, and here would say, well, everybody, no, I don't do nothing for nothing. So if people just do things, forget things, will you forget? Oh, you want to do nothing, but you want to get something. Well, fudge you. Yeah, get to the program. You see what Mark doing there? Let us say he's doing it out of the goodness of his heart. He got a boat running from Purrica to Bartica. It will still serve him a good purpose. Let us say he's doing it for benefits. What the blood clot you doing? You understand? Yeah, get to the program. Yeah, get to the program and realize what you gotta do. All right, straight into this. Good morning, Mr. Critic. I am from Purrica. I am looking at your morning program presently. When it passed by me, look at this video. Okay, well, watch at that. These people have an excavator running on the road. You can't do that. You can't do that. No way, shape, or form this should happen. Yeah, brother. What do you mean? Where you gonna hook up this internet? On a phone? No, but where would you be? Would you be stationed in Georgetown mostly? Mm-hmm. Oh, GT&T. Mm-hmm. GT&T. They got a 10 megabyte. They got a multi plan. 10 megabytes something for must be about 8,000 or some 7,000 something dollars, yes. But when you're at the hotel, you get good Wi-Fi there. It's just when you're up on the road. Mm. Safe, cool. GT&T. Guys, I gotta go. So look at this here. These people driving an excavator. This can't continue to happen. Yeah, I can't want to help the country and develop the country. And be fortunate of the place. No, a contractor making money. You take a $35 million piece of equipment for broke up more thing. So look at Mark's thing here. When Mark doing the handover, because he can't hand it over to the ministry, it's not you think you bill it and get him. You understand? But this is the way you give back. Do something. Don't have to owe somebody, get somebody for something. Well, at least they getting something. What the blood clot you can get if you sit on the sidelines and then do nothing. You better fall in line. And when everybody, you imagine watch, I tell them both of them. You imagine each and every one of them both man who making money decide to contribute something back to Perico or Bartico where you're landing, the landing area. You could imagine how these places would be nice. A man they say, well, I can spend a $500,000 and set up this party or a ramp or something. But let's do something. Let's see how we will better give back to our community. Yes, eh? And you ain't got to give away nothing. You could buy something that can better serve you and well everybody using it. Yeah. So look at what's going on here. This is a common problem and it needs addressing. This is bullshit. This is bullshit. Oh my God. Right? Look at that. There's madness. These things have to be organized and they got to stop. Right? So Mark, large up yourself for the initiative you've taken. You're building a boathouse or something like that they call them for Brick. I'm watching you right now. Good morning, critic. I know you like people to get to the point, so here goes. I live in perfect harmony. Rec du Zur, Rec Dor Z, Rec Dor Z. I have not collected the 25,000 up to now. The people came asking for a lot number. I told them I do not know where that is, and with the same breath asked about my 25,000. The lady asked for my ID, took my name and number, wrote it down, and told me it's not on the list, but continued to say they will pass by another day. I told her I didn't be at home during the week until the weekend. Up to now, nothing, nobody came to see. I got a 9 plus instead. I'm going to ask my friend. Okay, so we get some new phones coming. I need some new phones. So somebody just buy one for me there. It's not really going on. So we're going on in here. We are the Corporate Communication Unit of Guyana Police Force. Them look like a hit squad. Is where's the Stan Gavaya, Mark Ramatargana dress up the crew. And them man got some coat. And they look like a set of go-go gadget people. I can't make up these things. No joke. No joke. I put in go-go gadget. I store in the thing as go-go gadget. No. You can't make up these things. I kid you not, you can't make up these things. Buddy, I telling you, I don't know. I sure, I'm not from this place, you know, you got to be an alien. It's not the people fault, it's me. I'm a just different animal. Yes, sir. So watch these people here, sir. These banner dress up like men in black. Guyana is not a real place. So them banner, this is the Guyana Police Force Corporate Unit. Is that what they're calling it? I don't even know its name. Let me see. Them banner look like men in black. No, they didn't do that. It wasn't me. Yeah, them banner look like men in black. Are these the Go-Go Gadget crew? Jesus Christ. They look, it's nice that they uniform and so though. It's nice. Mark Ravatara start go via. Go over there, turn up the whole place. Uh, Everybody got hand and coat and thing, you know. They're full sunbathing. You know, somebody fat hard and got running scared. Hey, hey, I can't let bad access for going in there. If there's the men in black. Oh, Jesus Christ. Good morning, brother. We have the same issue with road lights in Kanji. A lot of the lights isn't working. All right. Adventurous or careless? I'm not careless. You can't careless with a bike. The people who make him bike gotta be careless and make bike. I relax yourself. Yeah, I blame me for going to do all the hard, dangerous work in the country and then you're frightened I get accident on bike. Yeah, I didn't know. As I watch myself, the people them wrong me more dangerous than the bike them I got. The bike them I is control. The people them you can't control them mind. So guys, let me call it a day. I think we've had an interesting program this morning. I got some things we're going to do for my partner Roshan. It's his birthday. I'm going to meet Terry Gadraj. And I think we should sit down and do something since he's here and we can the Guyana Babu, we can do something. And I want to do something for you guys. Um Melozikna people and thing. We might go. I had asked Roshan for us to do something. I want to take Terry to the Friday of Fast Friday in Tiger Bay, and we do something for the people of the Tiger Bay community. So I don't know if we can fit that in, but I'm gonna look at what is the possibility though, because you got large of the ghetto youths all the time. Guys, take care. Love. Peace out.